Alright guys, here we go. Here's our first video. So we are working on area of a parallelogram. So we worked on this in class the other day, and let me just draw a quick parallelogram over here so we can remember all the components. Okay, so here's our parallelogram, and so remember we talked about a couple of things. We talked about if there's the dotted line and then the right angle, that's going to represent our height. We can find it there. Sometimes in diagrams we can find it going the opposite way, and then other times we can actually find it outside of the parallelogram's shape. So any of those is going to signify that that is the height. So, oops, sorry, we put an B instead of an H. So the other big thing is in the area of a parallelogram is we need to find our base. So our base is always going to be where the height is measured. So from the dotted line to the dotted line, so the top part could be a base, or this bottom one could be a base. So those are all the components that we need to solve some of the problems. So let's go ahead and try a couple of problems. So remember, our area of a parallelogram is A equals base times height. So for example, let's say that we have a height, and they've given us a height of 9.2 centimeters, and they've given us a base of 13.5 centimeters. So in order to solve this problem, we're just going to go ahead and plug it into the formula. So my base, is 13.5 times 9.2. This is one of those math problems that I can't solve, so I actually have to do the math. So we have 13.5 times 9.2. So I go ahead and I'll multiply. And so there I have my math. Hopefully you can see it. And I'm going to move over my decimal 2 spots because there's 2 numbers to the right. And so I would find out an area would be 124 2/10 centimeters squared. So remember, we're always going to square those centimeters. So let me just quick erase that, and then let's try another parallelogram where they've given you the area. All right, so here's our next figure. All right, so this time they're going to give us the area equals 65.7 meters squared. They're going to tell us that the height of this is 7.3 meters, and we want to figure out what's the base. We don't know what the base is, so I'll use the variable of b. So now I'm going to use the same formula. Area equals base times height. This time I'm just going to plug in the numbers from my representation of the shape. So here I have my area of 65.7. It's going to equal, my base is my unknown, times my height of 7.3. Now as we go back, we're kind of going back into algebra, and so remember, if it's a multiplication problem, we're going to solve with the inverse operation. So inverse of multiplying is to divide. So I'm going to divide both sides, because remember, with hands-on equations we want to make sure that we do it to both sides, otherwise our balance is going to get tipped. So when I divide these two, I'm just left with my variable of b. Now I actually have to do some math over here because I can't divide that in my head. So now remember, when we're dividing fractions, we're going to move our decimal over 1 spot. So we're going to move it over here, just bring it up. So now I actually just have 73 divided into 657. Using what I know about math, I know 7 times 9 is like 63, so I'm going to try that one to see if it'll fit in. So 73 times 9, I get 27. I have 63 plus 2 is 65, so I actually find out that it's 9. It goes in evenly, so my base is going to be 9. I just can't forget about that measurement of meters. All right, so I hope you liked this short little video. We'll try again on the area of a triangle.